Google has released a new tool called Test My Site. It's designed to test your website. Does that matter? Is it relevant to you or small business and small website in Hong Kong? Hello, I'm Raymond Lowe and I help companies in Hong Kong with their online marketing needs. So one of your needs, obviously, is to be on the good side of Google. That's how we get most of our visitors, is from Google, because that's the biggest search engine, even in Hong Kong. So what they think matters, and their testing sites, as well as being literally useful as a test, are also useful in giving an insight into what matters to Google, because if it matters to Google, it matters to anybody with an online business. Let's take a look now at the website. testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com. I think the first clue here is thinkwithgoogle.com is their marketing site, the site where they teach people about marketing. It's not really the normal part of Google. It's really just about marketing. So let's type in the name of a Hong Kong website here and have a look at what it thinks. See, scmp.com. That's a good example. Now, while that's running, it goes through a set of tests. While that's running the test, we need to think about why this matters. Google always wants, they always say, and I'm sure they do, they want to give a good experience to people who search on the website. People come to their website and they search, and they want to offer people a choice of good websites. So Google's definition of a good website is important for us to understand. Here, if we look at the report that we have now from the Test My Site for SCMP, you can see that they've broken it out into 3 separate sections: mobile friendliness, mobile speed, and desktop speed. So it's basically mobile and speed with 2 different kinds of speed. So why is this important? Well, mobile friendliness, very important. I mean, you only have to look around you. You go on the MTR, you know, look around you at lunchtime, you're in a Starbucks, you see what people are around you, and they're looking at their phones. I mean, that's what people do. People get their information through their telephones. So does your website work well on a telephone? You know, they will all load. I mean, telephones try as much as they can to load any website. But does it work well? That's important, because if they don't, if your website doesn't, then people will go away. People will find another website if they can with the same information. The SCMP, they're not short of a few bob. They've invested in technology and they've made their website mobile friendly. Good for them. Speed, however, not so hot. We've got a poor rating for speed and a fair rating for desktop speed. So mobile worse, desktop fair. So that's pretty bad, or is that pretty good? I mean, we've got 1 good, we've got 1 poor. So what does this mean? It doesn't mean very much, I think, until you compare it with something else. And that's really what you have to do in order to see whether these things apply to you. So I've done some tests with a few other websites. Have a look at this one. HongKong.AsiaExpat.com. Big website in Hong Kong, very popular. Everybody's been there either to use the forums or simply to go through and you know, to research things. There's got threads going back years there with useful information. Of course, some of the information is out of date now because it goes back years. But it's still a great website, and even though it scores very badly here on these scores, I think people are still going to use it. People aren't going to stop using it because of that. So should you be worried if you owned Asia Expat? Probably not. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have a plan to improve this at some time, but how urgent it is, that's another matter. What's about some other examples? Bumps to Babes. Now, Bumps to Babes, great shop. I always love going into their shop in Pedder Building, which is a lovely building in itself. And it's a great shop, and it has a very nice website. The strange thing, you can't buy things on their website. You can't even order things on their website or reserve them. You have to call up if you want to do that. But the website itself is pretty pleasant. You can, you know, find products. You can see what they've got in stock, or see what lines they have at least. Maybe not stock. You'd have to call up for that. But the website is pretty nice. yet it scores very badly here. Now, I don't think Bumps2Babes really needs to worry about their online presence because of this. Could it be better? Yes, it could be better. How urgent is that? Depends upon their business. I said they're not selling online. I don't think people are really using their website to choose products, so maybe it's not their first priority. Here's another company, also very big in Hong Kong, Tree.com, the Tree furniture company, lovely furniture, lovely shop, and a better website. Mobile friendliness, 98% out of 100. That sounds pretty good, it's close to perfect. Mobile and desktop speeds, not so good again though. Should they be worried? Well, it's a matter of context. So they would need to look at their competitors and see how are their websites doing compared to that. Is people coming to the website an important part of their business? Here's a more modern website. This is Lightfoot Travel. It's a travel agent in Hong Kong, quite small, but really investing heavily in online marketing and with a very nice website. It's, you know, it's a joy to look at, a joy to browse through, and you can find a lot of information there. I would much rather use their website than one of the rather more old-fashioned ones that are quite common in the travel industry in Hong Kong. 93 out of 100 mobile friendliness, good, says Google. Still slow though. Why does slow matter? Slow matters because people are impatient, particularly on mobile. That's why I think they're a bit more strict there. Also, mobile phones, even in Hong Kong, with the good network connections in Hong Kong, mobile phones still have a worse connection than the desktops. And so you really want to be faster, not slower. And that's what we're seeing here, is that they're actually slower, not so good. So they have some work to do there on speed. The last item is, I was a bit cheeky here, I actually put their own website, the testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com, into their tester to see how it scores. You know, eat your own dog food is the joke. Is they doing okay? And they are doing okay. They're doing pretty well, right? They're doing, so it shows it is possible. But then, not everybody has the resources of Google to have a super fast site. So what should matter to you really is not just how your site does on this test, and you should go and test it right away, but it also matters how your competitors are going. Are your competitors doing better than you? Who are your competitors? These are the things you should be looking at. So today we've looked at the Test My Site service from Google, and we've given you a bit of context about how sites would compare with other sites in Hong Kong. But it's really all about context with your particular competitor group. Are you doing better than Lightfoot Travel? Probably doesn't matter unless you're a travel agent. So you want to do better than the other companies inside your segment, inside your area. If you don't have a direct competitor, then you at least need to be up there with the major websites, the SCMPs and so on. Seems like you won't have much trouble competing with Asia Expat now. But that's all for now. So I hope that's been a useful introduction into the services that are provided by Google in this new testing facility. If you would like some more information about online marketing in Hong Kong, please do follow me here, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, any of those, and leave a comment. I would greatly appreciate any comments you might have upon what you found useful in this video and what other questions you have. Please let me have any other questions and I'll see if I can make a video that might address them. And likes and shares always appreciated, of course. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'm Raymond Lowe. I'm from WR Media in Hong Kong and I help with your online marketing needs.